All right, today's math lesson, we are going to be drawing lines of symmetry. So last lesson, we talked about lines of symmetry, how we had to have the same exact shape on both sides. It was like we put it in a mirror, and if we could fold it on that line, it would be the exact same on both sides. So I'd like you to go on page 846 in your math book to follow along with me as I go through some of these examples and go through some of these to show you before you do your assignment today. All right, 846. All right. So, as you see, and I wish we could be in class to do this because I would get out the geo boards and with the rubber bands, and I always have fun doing this lesson in class. Unfortunately, we can't do that doing this remotely, but we're gonna make do with what we can do here. So it says Sarah wants to design a line of symmetry designing line symmetric tabletop. She sketches half of the tabletop. What are two ways Sarah could complete her design? Now, you can kind of see her design there. Uh, and they said that was half of her tabletop. So, what I would do, you look at that bottom of that picture, you can kind of see, like, if I had to make the same exact table on the other side, I would use this, I would count the dots there and kind of do it on the opposite end. All right. But you're gonna look at that one, but I'm gonna go to another one. I'm gonna go actually to the let's see. Yeah, this is the same thing. So let's say we have this right here. So like the top picture is what they gave you, right? Okay, so that was the half of the tabletop. So what we did here was this is the half they gave you, right? Right here. So we had like along the main, like the longest stretch of the table, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dots, right? And then I kind of look up here, we kind of had like this diagonal, which we went through three right there. And we had 2 dots going up top and going like this. So what I did was I was kind of to match it up so it'd be exactly the same. So we had this diagonal. So I'm going to go down and you can draw it. Well, you can kind of trace it with me in your book because they had it done for you, but you can kind of diagonal down to 3 going right there. And then we're going over 2. Can I look up here? I got to go up 2 right here and then go have my diagonal right here. So if I were to fold this table on my line of symmetry, remember our line of symmetry is going right through the middle there in the red, if you can tell if it's red there. If I would fold that, it would match exactly on both sides. Mine, it probably wouldn't match exactly because my dots probably aren't evenly spaced like they are in your book. But in your book, if you were to fold that table on that line, it would match up perfectly. So this would be a symmetrical. Okay. So that's what we're gonna be working on today. I'm gonna have to go through one more example. And then on your practice buddy, unfortunately you don't get to draw them. You're gonna have to just like pick the ones that have the lines of symmetry perfectly. So you're gonna have to look at them and look at the dots and be able to see, oh, is that a line of symmetry or not? All right, so look at on page, let's see, page 847. Let's look at number 5 there. And we're going to look at that so I'm going to let you think for a minute before I tell you. But that shape has 8 sides. What is an 8-sided shape called? I'll give you a few seconds to think about that. If you want to say it out loud, you can impress whoever's with you. An 8-sided shape is an octagon, right? So look at the octagon. So the octagon, they gave you the top part, right? So I'm going to kind of cover mine because I already drew it just to prepare myself, trying to do all these dots. So they gave you the top part there. Actually, I can do it like this. Okay. So the top part there of the octagon. So I already kind of drew my line of symmetry like they have in your book. So if we look at this octagon here, the top part of it, all right. So we have on the top part, we have like 2 dots going up. We got 2 dots on the diagonal, 3 up top, 2 diagonal, 2 going down. Now, so remember so I'm going to give you a chance on your own to try to match up. So if you fold it on that line of symmetry, it's going to be perfect. All right, so I'm going to give you, let's say, 10 to 15 seconds. I want you to try, before I show mine, try to draw that so it's going to be perfect on both sides. So draw the bottom part of that octagon, the same as the top. So for you artists out there, this is going to kind of be fun. So go ahead and draw that to make it so you fold it, it's going to be perfect. Number 5 on page 847. This is the part which I wish we were in class so I know I can kind of gauge how you guys are doing. See who's done and who's not. All right, so hopefully you have that done. Now, if you look at mine, so I've shown my whole octagon now. Now, I just started from like right here, and I was like, oh, I got to go down 1 dot. So there would be my 2. Oh, I got to do my diagonal with the 2 right there. Oh, I got to match the top of the bottom. Got to go over 3 right there. All right. I got to go my diagonal right there and match it up just like that. All right. So if I fold this on that line of symmetry, it's going to be perfect on both top and bottom. All right. So some of them have like these crazy shapes. So if you like want to try number 6, maybe number 7, number 10, you could try those in your book. I'm not going to draw them on my dry erase boards because I only have 2 and I have them already taken up, and it takes a while to draw those dots. But with this lesson, the big thing, you have to match both sides perfectly. They're going to try to trick you on the practice buddy. They're going to look pretty similar, but make sure you guys count those dots to make sure they are exactly the same, like on the top, bottom, side, and all that. Now, remember, some shapes can have more than one line of symmetry. You are going to be, like we reviewed from the last lesson, they are going to review some of those questions, but make sure you look at which ones can have more than one line of symmetry. Remember, line of symmetry, if you fold it, it has to be perfect on both sides. All right. So if you have any questions, please ask me on Go Guardian. I'm going to be available to answer those questions. But what you're going to do on your practice buddy is you're going to pick they're going to give you like half the shape. They want you to pick the other side that would make it symmetrical. All right. We'll talk to you soon.